First Bank today to get your Phoenix Suns check card. Starters for the Suns, this starting unit, 18-6. And keep an eye on Amari Stoudemire. He could have a very big game tonight against the Warriors, who are without 5 players that are 6'10" or taller, including Biedrins and Turiaf, both out with injuries. Head coach Alvin Gentry seems to have his team peaking at the right time. And how about a little consideration for Alvin Gentry as NBA Coach of the Year? Likely that award, will go to Scotty Brooks of Oklahoma City, but don't be surprised if Alvin grabs a few votes himself. And now the starters for the Golden State Warriors. Get this, 42 different starting lineups this season. 42. They have been destroyed by injuries. They have 2 D-leaguers in there, and Anthony Tolliver and Chris Hunter. And, of course, Monte Ellis, one of the most dynamic scorers in the game today. Head coach Don Nelson, who will turn 70 in May. He needs 5 more wins to pass Lenny Wilkins and become the winningest coach in NBA history. It would be a nice tonic for an otherwise dismal season. The question is, will he get it this season? The Warriors have 13 games left, and he needs those 5 victories. Here's tonight's APS Power Matchup. APS, a better tomorrow, starts today. We're looking at Jay Rich and Monte Ellis.
Yeah, no place other to go than Monte Ellis. Holy cannoli, this guy's NBA's version of that Energizer Bunny. 25.7 points per game, 6th in the NBA, 4 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 2.26 steals per game, which is 2nd in the NBA and 2nd in the minutes played in the NBA as well. And Jason Richardson, what can you say? The hustle and the Suns hustle and flow backcourt. 16 points, 5 boards, only 1 turnover last night versus Portland.
And Monte Ellis, so much fun to watch. I mean, it's been difficult for him in a Warriors uniform, struggling the last couple of seasons. They come in 19-50 this year. This squad won just 29 games last season, but they are awfully tough at home. 15 of their 19 victories have come here at Oracle Arena. Time for tonight's Batteries Plus Power Keys to the Game. Batteries Plus, thousands of batteries for thousands of items. I always love Scott Williams' keys because he has that local tie, that local flavor.
Yeah, I was on that Bay Harbor cruise earlier today, but the Suns better not be, because this team has been pretty darn good at home. 3 of their last 5 victories coming here at home. They took the world champs to overtime last Monday night, and you have a lockdown defense tonight. This team is 2nd leading in the NBA, over 108 points per game, and only team that has had 7 different players score more than 30 points in the season. So they got to bring it, got to concentrate. You know, Nelly, 3-time NBA Coach of the Year, likes to mix it up with all kind of cross matches and small ball, so you got to pay attention to the game plan and the schemes out there defensively.
So we talk about the defenses. The Suns' defense has been excellent over the last 2 games. They held Utah and Portland both under 40% from the field. Meanwhile, the Warriors, their last 4 games, Scotty, allowing on average 129 points per game. Just dreadful for Golden State. Now it's time for the Phillips & Associates Accident Injury Update. If you've been injured in an accident, call Phillips & Associates at 602-258-8888. We get to the arena and we're told that there will be no Radmanovic nor Roni Turiaf. This Warriors team has utilized 20 different players this season. They've called up 5 different players from the D-League to try to suit up enough healthy bodies. And we are up and away from Oakland, and the Suns control the tap. Robin Lopez batted it back, and the Suns' #1 scoring team in the NBA. Golden State comes in number 2. Suns broadcast made available in high definition by Verizon Wireless. Check your cable or satellite listings for HD channels. Jay Rich to the 10th floor to get us started here in Oakland.
Nice seal down there on Jason Richardson. Great entry pass by Nash. Hustled to flow that time right there. And you got to love that start, because the backcourt kind of struggled a little bit to start the game yesterday. And nice to see them get off to a good start.
Alvin Gentry saying we'll see every lineup imaginable from the Golden State Warriors. They will go very small. You might even see Corey Maggette, who just hit that shot, playing the 5 position as the center for Don Nelson's small ball unit. Tied up at 2. First minute from Oracle Arena. Suns winning 4 in a row, trying to make it 5 straight. They go back to Jason Richardson. Alvin Gentry saying we're going to pound it inside. That's where Robin Lopez is. He was denied and sent away by Chris Hunter, one of their D-leaguers.
I love Lopez getting on that offensive glass, but when he got that rebound, he was in a real bad position. 2 guys draped all over him. That's one, as a big guy, you guess have to, I couldn't get my putback. Let me throw it back out and reset the offense.
Suns go to Jason Richardson on their first 2 possessions. I'm sure Amari Stoudemire will be very active himself. Monta Ellis way short, rebounded by Grant Hill. Had so many clutch rebounds last night in the 4th quarter, that victory at home over the Portland Trail Blazers. The rebounding and also the defense that the Suns had, along with Jason Richardson slowing down Brandon Roy. Grant Hill kills the dribble to Robin Lopez in a crowd off the glass and in for Robin.
Great interior passing by Grant Hill. He was way underneath the basket. A little bounce pass to the big man that came up around his waist area.
Monta Ellis through the midst of Chris Hunter. Out of bounds turnover to the Warriors.
Now that's a bad interior pass to the big guy.
Grant Hill forcing the issue, and then a goaltending call on Chris Hunter. So count the hoop for Grant Hill.
Hunter must have played some international basketball. He tried to wipe that thing off the rim, and obviously a goaltending call that the officials got correct. But how about, Grant Hill's ability to be able to bounce back? He played 35 minutes last night. He's 37 years old, and he's got a lot of energy to start this game.
Nash played about 30 minutes last night. Amari led all players with over 41 minutes of court time against Portland. Crush inside for Hunter. 25-year-old rookie out of Michigan, undrafted, was playing for the Fort Wayne Mad Ants before he got the call up from the Warriors. Nash skating into the lane, looking for Robin Lopez, and Phoenix turns it over.
That's not real threatening, Mad Ant. Who cares if an ant's mad? What's it going to do to you?
I love some of those D-League names. Of course, Earl Clark spent some time, about a week, with the Iowa Energy, and another hit for Chris Hunter. A couple of early hoops for Hunter. He, along with Tolliver, have been very effective. And I was talking to Tom Chambers, Kevin Ray in the pregame show. This is the land of opportunity here in Oakland with all these D-Leaguers, and really an audition for these players for next season, as Amari was suffocated but fouled by Maggette.
Well, if you play hard, Nelly will give you a shot. And that's the thing, I think, why he's been able to be a head coach for 31 years in the NBA. And within 5 victories of the all-time winningest coach in the league, because guys respect the fact, hey, if I go out here and bust it, he'll give me my chance.
Nash, a little 2-man game with Amari Stoudemire, hemmed up by Stephen Curry and blocked by the rookie out of Davidson, then loses it out of bounds. Solid defense from Curry. You look defensively, Curry and Monta Ellis, they are thieves as well. 2 of the top steals players in the NBA.
Yeah, Curry's got those long arms and active legs. Good foot.
A sweet shot from the outside for 3 for Stephen Curry. And the Warriors take a 3-point lead. I mentioned they are very tough to beat here at home.
Yeah, shoots 42% from down there and probably closer to 55%.
Nash loses the dribble again. 2-on-1 breakout. Curry, scoop pass to Maggette. 5-point lead for Golden State on a 9-0 surge. Taking advantage of Suns' miscues and turnovers. Back comes Jay Rich, downloading a 3.
Yeah, we may see smoke come out from the scoring machine before this thing is over with. They're already lighting it up in the early going.
It'll be like a pinball machine. Back and forth they'll go. Nash comes up with the rebound.
That's a scoreboard, by the way.
Yes, it would be.
Not a machine, it's a board.
Well, you can't consider it a machine. Amari Stoudemire has been a machine for Phoenix, and all sorts of debris as he took it into the lane. Down went Maggette, and off to the line will go Amari Stoudemire, who's been a frequent visitor at the free throw line over the past month and a half.
Look at this one more time. Stephen Curry. Look at the way those arms are out extended, giving Nash nowhere to go. Then when the opportunity strikes, he slaps that basketball away. And I love that. Make the defender commit to you, then you shuffle it off to your big guy trail.
Monta Ellis, 2nd in the NBA in steals. Curry is 6th best in the league, coming into this game with 120 steals as a rookie. Amari nets the first free throw. In the month of March, Amari averaging 29 points per game, 2nd only in the NBA to Dwayne Wade. Tonight's game brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You got meetings, we've got flights. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, and it's on. And over the last 6 games, Amari's been shooting better than 90% from the stripe. Tied up at 11. Pulling it out is Monta Ellis. Had the ankle surgery a couple years ago, that moped accident. Maggette lets it fly from the outside, tipped around, and Nash trying to save it. Goes out of bounds, and we're going to get a loose ball foul, though, called against Golden State. I believe that was Tolliver over there who was chasing it down along with Nash, and it is the first on Tolliver.
I think he just pushed Amari Stoudemire out of bounds, so he wouldn't be able to collect that pass from Nash, who was jumping up on that end stripe to try to save it to Stoudemire. Silly foul.
Suns come in averaging about 110 points per game, 108 for the Golden State Warriors. Amari head down, aggressive move, and fouled at the rim by Chris Hunter.
He's like one of those futuristic Terminators, the way he's been playing basketball the last few games, and saw it last night, taking the ball hard to the basket. Didn't matter who was on him, whether it was LaMarcus Aldridge or Juwan Howard. He was just thinking, I'm the biggest, baddest person on this floor, and nobody can stop me in a white uniform. And I think he's got that same approach tonight to these Golden State Warriors bigs that are guarding the night in those white jerseys.
Yeah, and there you have the Suns pounding it inside early in this game. A couple of fouls already on Hunter, one on Tolliver, one on Maggette. 14 fouls already for the Warriors. 7:45 mark of the first quarter, 1 of 2 at the line for Stoudemire. The Suns do not have a team foul as of yet, and they do have the 1-point lead. Magic number for the Suns making it into the playoffs is 6. Any combination of Suns wins and Houston losses adding up to 6, and the Suns are in. And down it goes for Chris Hunter.
Nice job by Hunter in this early going.
Back quickly, Grant Hill trying to spin free of Monte Ellis. Mentioned that Ellis second in the league in steals. He's 6th in scoring. Now, he is just a pesky defender. And when he is healthy, he is one of the most dynamic players in the league. Nash lobs it into Amari Stoudemire. They throw the double team. Curry deflected the pass and a loose ball foul on Amari Stoudemire. Trying to keep Stephen Curry away from that loose ball.
Well, I think he's coming down to double team. We mentioned his wingspan that time. Got right up in that passing lane as Stoudemire tried to get the ball back out to Nash.
Suns have turned it over 5 times already here in the first quarter, leading so far to 7 points by Golden State. Curry dips in, pass Robin Lopez. Pretty move, couldn't put it in. Amari clears it up ahead to Nash. BB pass, Grant Hill takes it in. And a foul, a late whistle, will go against Corey Maggette as former Blue Devils met at the top. And that will now be the second on Corey Maggette. Golden State in the penalty situation the rest of the way. And you see the Suns anchor of their relay team, Grant Hill, always beating the other players down the floor.
Yeah, and you see, well, Jason Richardson gets out in that wing and lane area and gets those very hard passes to catch because you're running full speed. There's a slight angle, but Nash delivers them all the time to Jason Richardson, Grant Hill. They realize if they run, they will be rewarded.
Grant Hill and the Suns could catch Utah for the 4th spot in the West tonight. Again, Utah hosting the Boston Celtics in Salt Lake City. The Suns win and the Jazz lose. They will be tied for 4th. Oklahoma City also in action tonight, hosting the San Antonio Spurs. Right now, the Thunder 1 game behind the Suns in the West, off of the foot of Grant Hill. And Golden State will still have it with 16 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, that's why that game Friday night was so important. You know, if it comes down to a tie, the Suns have to figure out a way. They had lost the first 2 meetings against the Jazz, and then win, then now all of a sudden they can win, you know, get another one against the Jazz and tie that.
Another inside move by Chris Hunter, going to work on Robin Lopez. Chris Hunter has the 2 fouls, but 8 points already in the quarter.
Well, Robin Lopez with that foot just not close, you know, parallel to the baseline that time, and just that open stance allowed Hunter to go almost with a straight line angle to the basket. Got to close that off.
Averaging 4, scoring 9 already in the first. Chris Hunter from the D-League, also played in Poland and Belgium. Hard to get tape on Chris Hunter to figure out what his game is like. Fade away for Jay Rich. And the pull down to Maggette. Up ahead quickly in transition comes Golden State. Rebounded by Lopez before the game. Alvin Gentry saying he told his players, be careful of the transition. Numerous times saying it's all about transition tonight. Robin Lopez, no look feed from Steve Nash, who spoon-fed Robin for the J.
That was sweet behind the back, lefty pass right to the guy's midsection.
Quick fire by Monte Ellis, wide left, jerked away by Grant Hill. There's Nash with that long lob feed right on the money to Jay Rich for the crush.
Just see what Jay Rich started to do. He started to hold Monte Ellis up at about the top of the key 3-point line area so he could have that space to let the ball be lobbed up over the top.
And how many times have we seen that from Steve Nash? The long lob feed, either Grant Hill or Jay Rich doing the job sealing the defender inside.
We got an injured Warrior player here. And Chris Hunter is limping off the floor. I don't know if it's an ankle or a knee.
Just typical of the Golden State Warriors and their fortunes this season. A former Warrior, Jay Rich, giving it a home, and the Suns have a 2-point lead here in the first. Early in the first quarter. Don't miss our first ever Suns Planet Orange Night coming up this Friday, March 26th. Get discounted tickets to the Suns-Knicks game, an exclusive Suns t-shirt, plus a private post-game Q&A session with Tim Kempton and Al McCoy. Visit Suns.com for more information today. Brought to you by Discount Tire. Scott, we have another wounded Warrior. It is Chris Hunter, who apparently rolled his ankle trying to get back defensively during that lob feed to Jay Rich. So keep an eye about the free throw line. And ooh,
see that ankle
just to
shoot
watch
out to the side there, that left ankle. Jay Rich went up to slam that one home, and he's been Mr. Perfection. Hunter 4-4 from the field, 9 points. But it seems like he's trying to see if he's going to be able to stay in this game. Maybe it's not
tough.
as bad as it looked.
But just an avalanche of injuries here in Oakland, using 20 different players. The 5 D-leaguers, which ties an NBA record set 2 years ago by San Antonio. 419 games lost to injury. 10 players have missed at least 11 games this season. Goodness gracious. And just today, the team waived former Sun Raja Bell to make room for Reggie Williams the rest of this season. Another player coming out of the D-League. Up and under went Monte Ellis, fouled in the act by Richardson.
Yeah, Monte Ellis is a nice play that time by Don Nelson coming to that timeout. They tried to post Jason Richardson and Monte Ellis a couple of times successfully, and this time Nelly says, how about a little turnabout's fair play, and Ellis went down on that block and operate.
I was talking to Alvin Gentry whether or not he felt this team, the Suns, were peaking right now, and he said definitely defensively they are right there, and he also loves the ball movement. And here in the first quarter, Scotty, the Suns have 6 field goals on 6 assists.
Yeah, I love that. And the only thing I have circled on my stat sheet after that first timeout break was the 5 turnovers. And, that's a little too many turnovers early in the game. 2 steals that time have led to some points for the Golden State Warriors. 2
turnovers by Nash, 2 from Robin Lopez, all tied up at 18 here in the first. Suns back home to face the Knicks on Friday, then a 5-game road trip. Amari went up for the slam, lost it on the way up, and a loose ball foul. That's the second on stat.
It was almost like he had a little chicken grease on his fingers as he went up to slam that one home. It just squirted out of his fingertips. And when something like that happens, you know you had a surefire too. It's hard not to go after that basketball, and he just wrapped the guy around the wrist and got a second foul.
Never fails, too. Remember during the starting lineups, I said, you know, you can expect possibly a big game from Amari Stoudemire as the Warriors are without Biedrins and Turiaf, many of their players that are 6'10" or taller, and then Amari picks up 2 early fouls here in the first quarter and has to be replaced by Lou Amundsen.
Well, he's been their best player over the last probably 6 to 8 weeks. Stoudemire has. So let's see if we get some of these bench guys, the solar subs, as you like to call them, to step up now and provide a little lift.
Oh, that was your moniker. You came up with that. I'm not going to take credit for the solar subs. You did that. That was very creative. Inside, Corey Maggette. Nash was there along with Robin Lopez. Nash in a discussion with Benny Adams right now, and the foul will be assessed, though, to Robin Lopez. Our officials, Tom Washington, Benny Adams, and Jason Phillips. And I'm being told we have a final between the Thunder and San Antonio. The Spurs winning tonight in Oklahoma City after losing in overtime to the Atlanta Hawks. So a victory for San Antonio, 99-96, that final over the Thunder. So Oklahoma City reeling a little bit here down the stretch, as you might imagine from a young team that they have.
I mean, they have a tendency to go on some long winning streaks. We saw they won 9 games earlier in the year, and they've also lost 3 or 4 games in a row as well. So maybe they're on that one of those losing streaks, and that's a good thing right now for the Phoenix Suns as they try to separate themselves from some of these other Western Conference playoff teams.
5-minute mark of the first. Golden State back on top by 1. They throw the strong double at Jay Rich. Nash into the lane, scoops it up with the left hand. Batted out to Monte Ellis and picked up by Stephen Curry. Tremendous balance by Curry at midcourt to keep that ball alive. Baseline head fake, Corey Maggette ramming into Grant Hill. Offensive foul taken by Grant.
That's the kind of defense you've seen out of the Suns team the last couple of weeks. Really guys helping out. Channing Frye goes for the pump fake. And then Grant Hill from his weak side position comes over and takes the charge. I like this right here. All the way across the key, outside that restricted area, gets the contact.
Quick feet from Grant Hill, forcing the third foul now on Corey Maggette in the first quarter. Well, they can ill afford to lose Corey Maggette, one of their top scorers. Golden State only dressing 9 players here tonight. Really all season they've only dressed 8 or 9 throughout the course of the season. Nash looked ahead to Jay Rich on the sprint out. Grant Hill. And now Channing Frye has come in off the bench. Jared Dudley will check in at the next break. And from the outside for 3, Jay Rich ripping the cords again.
Wow, he's off to another fast start here in the Bay Area. 4 of 6 from the field, 2 for 2 3-pointers. He's got himself 10 points.
Jay Rich, the first player in double figures. Tolliver in a crowd finds Maggette. Frye was there defensively. And let's see, the foul will go against, I believe it will be Channing Frye, and that's his first.
Yeah, good thing, because Richardson has already gotten 1 foul in this first quarter. Didn't want to see him pick up his second foul, as both Stoudemire and Lopez already have 2 early fouls.
So to the line will go Corey Maggette, averaging 25 points over the last 2 games. Talked about the 5 D-leaguers and making room for Reggie Williams rest of the season. And today the Golden State Warriors waiving former son Raja Bell, who is here at the game tonight along with his wife and 2 kids. Had a chance to see some of his former teammates before the game. And sitting near the Golden State bench, though, I think he just ran out to grab a soda just as we were going to take a shot of Raja.
Dogs, some pretzels. Great. Thanks, Raja.
Yeah, way to go. He does. Yeah, he does. He has those 2 kids. That's always unpredictable as well. Tipped out of bounds by Monte Ellis, and then they said it went off of Jay Rich after that.
Yeah, they call that old double tip where the defender tips the ball just enough so where you think the ball is going to be, it isn't quite there. It goes off of your fingertip and out of bounds. So, fortunate break that time for the Warriors.
Maggette has to check out with those 3 personal fouls. In comes Reggie Williams. The player has been averaging about 13 points since coming over from his D-League team. Reversal for Jason Richardson. A pretty move by Jay Rich, who now has a dozen.
I want some of what he had for dinner. He played 30 minutes last night, but he's running around like he's got tons of energy.
Oh, and then he forces Monte Ellis to dish it away at the last second. The southpaw, Reggie Williams, not close. Wearing number 55. He led the nation in scoring consecutive seasons at the Virginia Military Institute. Nash, high-arching shot. Down it goes for Nash.
It seems like Nash shoots less since the All-Star break, but boy, when he takes a shot on balance, doesn't it seem like it always finds the bottom of the net?
Sure does. That's just his second shot of the quarter. Suns are shooting a sizzling 69% inside of 3 minutes to go here in the period. And Anthony Tolliver steps back and shoots over Channing Frye.
Old school like Tim Duncan used the glass on that one to put it in. Pretty shot.
Golden State 47% from the field here in the first. Nash straight and sweet. Back-to-back buckets for MV Steve.
Already 50 points combined for these 2 teams. We still got 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Now the Suns came here last season and scored 154 points in a regulation game. Monte Ellis driving on Lou Amundsen was there to alter this shot. Rebound was loose. Curry pumps it up, and a good box out from Nash. Have to keep Ellis and Curry off the glass. They're very active in the steals department, the rebounding, and of course the scoring. Wide left was Jay Rich. Here comes Stephen Curry, the rookie out of Davidson, taken 7th overall in the first round. Tolliver loads up for 3. Anthony Tolliver, 6'9", 245, second-year player out of Creighton, drills the 3-pointer.
Yeah, he was shooting 35% out there. I mean, that's respectable. Anything over 33, 34% is pretty respectable from the Atlanta 3. He just doesn't shoot that many of them.
Nash splitting the defenders, hangs in the air. Jason Richardson went airborne. Thought maybe that Nash would lob it up. Here comes Curry right down Main Street. The feed to Tolliver. And 1 for Anthony Tolliver. This has been about the players coming out of the D-League. Ellis and Curry are a combined 1 of 9 from the field in the first quarter, but production from Chris Hunter, who has 9, and Anthony Tolliver, who has 7.
I'll tell you what, that was a sweet play run that time by Stephen Curry. A couple of times now he gets the defense to commit, takes it deep to the hole, and lays off his 4th assist to Tolliver.
28-27, latter stages of the first quarter here from Oakland. Suns basketball is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Give the gift of a destination with the Southwest gift card. Stephen Curry, 22 years of age, the rookie from Davidson, who led the nation in scoring last year and actually led Davidson to the Elite Eight a couple seasons ago. And Davidson averaging 28 wins over the last 2 years with Stephen Curry as their star player. And Scott, if you wonder what's happened to Davidson since Stephen Curry has left, well, Davidson went 16-15 this year. They lost in the first round of their conference tournament. They sorely miss Stephen Curry, a special, special talent.
Well, I think that's just leadership. I think that's what he provides. Not only the talent, but it's also that leadership a guy like Stephen Curry, brings. It almost reminds me of Tyler Hansbrough in North Carolina. He leaves a very talented North Carolina team behind, but that leadership is sorely missed, and Carolina goes on to have sort of a down season as well.
You saw a shot there, too, of Del Curry, his dad, who, of course, played in the NBA. And I spoke to Stephen before this game. He's very tight with Jason Richardson of the Suns. Apparently, they trained together for about 3 weeks last summer. They share the same trainer, and were working out in 3 different cities, including Phoenix. Jay Rich calling Stephen Curry his little brother. Nash, another turnover, trying to scoop it over to Lou Amundsen.
He feels he got grabbed, but that's the 9th turnover for the Suns. I mean, that's more than a half's worth, and we've still got some time left to go here in the first quarter.
And the 4th committed by Nash here in the opening period. Curry, bounce feed to Tolliver. He finds an open Monte Ellis, misses the open Jay, and Nash comes away with the rebound. Nash and Fry, Dudley, Amundsen, and Jason Richardson, the 5 on the floor. From deep, it's Channing Fry, downloading another 3 for Phoenix.
Wow, Suns are red hot from beyond that arc. That's already their 3rd three-point shot. They're 11 of 16 shooting, close to 70%. They're just not getting enough shot because they got those 9 turnovers.
Yeah, just being killed by those turnovers. 2-point lead and 1 for a slicing Reggie Williams. 23-year-old rookie from the Virginia Military Institute. Earning some minutes, averaging about 13 points since coming over from the D-League and sending Raja Bell to the waiver wire, as this Warriors team had to make a decision whether or not to keep Reggie for the rest of the season. Raja wasn't going to play anyways because he had the wrist surgery and was going to be on the bench and street closed the rest of the season. Nash through the obstacle course, shut down by Devin George. 25 seconds to go in the corner. Pump fake, Jay Rich, absolutely for 3. Jason Richardson rocking Oracle Arena, 15 points here in the first.
That's the way to come out of the locker room and set a tone for how you're going to play. And this is going to be important because they're going to run out of gas as this game goes on. So it's nice to be able to put 33 points up here in the first quarter.
And the Suns 4 of 5 from far away. That fake Tolliver. Met by Channing Fry. Final seconds. Nash looks up, lets it fly from midcourt. Couldn't get it. Done with 1 here from Oakland. And the 2 teams combined for 64 points here in the opening period. Jason Richardson, the shooting star for the Suns, with 15.
Yeah, I like the way he came out of that locker room. Mentioned just a minute ago, those 15 points. Steve Nash has got 5 boards and 5 assists to go along with 4 points. And giving a little contribution off the bench. Channing Fry with those 3 points, knocking them down.
Suns knocking down those big shots and going after their 5th straight win. You're watching Suns basketball, presented by Casino Arizona. Producer David Hughes and director Dan Siekman. Welcome back to Oakland. Suns with a 2-point lead heading to the second quarter. Phoenix winds up shooting 67% from the field in the opening period. Jason Richardson with the 15 points. Nash 5 assists, but the 4 turnovers for the Suns, who had 9 turnovers in the first quarter, leading to 10 Golden State points. There's Reggie Williams. He has a pretty outside shot. You can see why he led the nation in scoring back-to-back seasons. One of only 9 players to do that in NCAA history.
Yeah, he's doing something that Nash is doing. Shooting 50% from the land of 2, the 40% from the land of 3, and 90% from behind from the free throw line.
All right, sparkling shooting numbers. Fighting inside was Dudley for the rebound and finally tipped away by Reggie Williams. You know these guys are going to play hard. Reggie Williams, Anthony Tolliver, Chris Hunter, Anthony Morrow, another player who was undrafted who led the NBA in 3-point percentage last year. Morrow swings it over to Williams and a traveling call on Reggie Williams.
And shuffled his foot, actually didn't shuffle, changed his pivot foot out there on the arc. Guy was going to go to his right and decided to go back to the left.
You know, you look at this, Scott, and the Warriors have 2 players who led college basketball in scoring the last 3 years. Back-to-back seasons for Reggie Williams, and then last year it was, of course, Stephen Curry at Davidson. Dudley defended by Morrow. Drops it in to Jay Rich. There's that aggressive double team, forcing it out of the hands of Richardson. 5 on the shot clock for Fry. Nothing happening. He finds a darting Jason Richardson along the baseline. Couldn't put it down.
Jay Rich is shocked he didn't get that little bunny to go up off glass.
A nice pass, though, from Channing Fry, who comes away with a rebound. Double-figure rebounding numbers for Channing last night. Dudley on the run out. Fed nicely by Goran Dragic.
I love Jared Dudley. I absolutely love the energy and the passion, the hustle this guy plays with. I've been calling him non-athletic. I'm not going to do that anymore because I just think he makes up whenever he does mistakes with his head.
Suns lose sight of Anthony Tolliver inside. Dudley was so critical last night in that fourth quarter. The Suns trailing by 2 to Portland scored 8 consecutive points. Big shot for Channing Fry, and the Suns now from far away 5 of 7 3-point shooting, 71%. Back comes Golden State. Stephen Curry with his second field goal has 6 points and 5 assists for the Warriors. Trying to track Dragic, swings around and finds Dudley wide right. Picked up in the corner by Devin George, who won 3 NBA titles as a member of the Lakers. Almost a traveling violation on Curry as he was met near midcourt by Dragic. Shoots past Goran.
I think Goran's going to have to learn now. He's going to have to stay on Stephen Curry. Any shot inside the three-point line is going to be money. You got to be able to back up but not give up too much ground.
Well, Don Nelson was talking about coaching Stephen Curry, saying he is just a pleasure to coach. Just the perfect player in terms of mentality and talent. Goran Dragic from deep. Absolutely for scoring Goran Dragic, and the Suns on top 41-39.
Yeah, Devin George isn't going to like that one very much. The little young second-year player did a number on him that time.
6 of 9 3-point shooting. In the corner, Morrow. Oh, he has such a pretty release, and that's his sweet spot from the corner.
We talk about this going to be tough on the scoreboard tonight. Already these guys with 83 points and lighting it up from beyond the arc, both teams.
Yeah, the pinball machine is overheating. Jay Rich comes up shy and torn out of there near midcourt, picked up by Devin George. Stephen Curry plays with such a fluidity about his game. Look at that move, but couldn't put it in.
He's had some great moves right at the basket and has not been able to finish them.
Dragic weaving through defenders, trying to set up Dudley, who is blocked at the top. Oh, the track meet is on. Curry, magical move, ball fakes the dish to Reggie Williams. Oh, Stephen Curry worth the price of admission here in Oakland, even for a Warriors team that is 19-50, but a dazzling player for the future for the Golden State Warriors.
He's gassed. He's been out there doing it all.
Timeout on the court. 8:13 to go. Dragic, not bad himself, trying to set up Dudley, who is rejected. Back from Oakland after this. Friday at U.S. Airways Center, then a 5-game road trip for Phoenix, Minnesota, Chicago, New Jersey, Detroit, and Milwaukee before coming home to take on the Spurs, the Rockets, and the Denver Nuggets. The Suns here in Oakland lighting up from three-point land, 6 of 9 from far away. Jay Rich has netted 3, 2 for Fry and 1 for Goran Dragic.
Well, the ball movement's been good along the perimeter. That's one quick reason why you're getting good shots, getting open looks, because the defense is not having a chance to react. I love that Goran Dragic just did it himself on that one to Devin George. I love that crossover snap dribble that Dragic has, even take the ball to the basket or knocking down the shots. Nice play there.
Dragic in for Alvin Gentry in the backcourt now with Leandro Barbosa, and that's really a dilemma, I think, for Alvin. Scott is trying to find minutes for LB. He's only been playing about 10 minutes a game since coming back from that wrist surgery, but you know, the rest of the guards are playing so well. Of course, Nash and Jay Rich, and then Dragic, part of that 3-man rotation, and he's just trying to squeeze in LB to inject him with some confidence heading toward the postseason.
Well, he's probably every bit as good as Goran Dragic is, but at the same point in time, you say he's a little rusty, and the team's been playing well. So you don't want to disrupt the chemistry that you had by putting another guy back out there, because guys get used to playing with Dragic, and the coach has confidence in him right now. So it's a little tough right now for LB. He's going to have to be patient.
Dragic passes up on the 3. Stoudemire returning for the Suns. Remember, he picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. Ambushed by a pair of defenders, and a 3-second lane violation will turn it over for Phoenix again. That is now their 10th turnover. but it was just their first turnover of the second quarter. Golden State outscoring the Suns 13-8 so far here in the second. Warriors have missed the playoffs 16 of the past 17 seasons. The only time that they made it into the postseason was that We Believe team, that playoff run in 2007. Another hit for Reggie Williams.
This guy, remember, it reminds me of a player that used to play at Syracuse, and Stevie Thompson. You know, left-handed guy, wasn't the greatest outside shooter, but found a way to get the ball in the basket.
And a stocky kid, 6'10", 210. 23-year-old who played in France last year, a head fake and all sorts of contact inside. Morrow bit on the fake from Dudley, who'll make his way to the line.
Well, that's a nice smart play there, time by Jared Dudley. One time he gets the ball inside, he got it swatted by Morrow, and this time says, okay, I'm going to give this shot blocker, or somebody thinks he's a shot blocker, a little ball fake, get him up in the air, and then I'll get to myself to the line.
Couple free throws for Jared Dudley, and Alvin Gentry's wardrobe is courtesy of the Clothery at the Biltmore Fashion Park. And did you know, Scott, that Suns head coach Alvin Gentry has started tweeting? So he has 7,000 followers already following head coach Alvin Gentry. His daughter actually helped him set up his homepage. And it looks very nice, too, wearing that red tie on his homepage for Twitter. Also had some help from Suns.com. But he is the first NBA head coach, to our knowledge, that has been tweeting.
Twitter, huh? Not that. I'm going to get me one of them Twitter pages. Who I talked about setting me myself up?
Jeremy McTweet. He doesn't like that nickname that I've given him. It's actually Jeremy McPeak, and he does a great job along with Daniel Banks and Steve Koech, Suns.com. Driving baseline is Dragic. Working around the perimeter, it's Barbosa. Picked up by Reggie Williams. Inside of 10 on the shot clock. LB lets it fly. Banks it in for two. Not sure if that was his intention, but they'll give LB the two.
I'm going to say, that's kind of like horse. You have to call that bank shot, or can you can match it any way without calling it. Nice job by LB. He got to get himself going somehow. I think he did that a little bit last night. Get himself a little rhythm and flow out there.
Yeah, whatever it takes for Leandro Barbosa. Anthony Morrow has a good look at a three. Shot 46% from far away last season to lead the NBA. Right now he is 4th in the league in three-point percentage. Barbosa trying to go on to work on Morrow. Tried to spin free of Devin George. Lost the handle.
Oh, these turnovers are just piling up.
Contact and the attempt by Monte Ellis. Busted for the infraction is Goran Dragic. A couple free throws coming for Monte.
Dragic has got to learn on that one. He had great position. The guy hit him square in the chest, but it's almost that unwritten rule. Unless you go down to the floor on your backside, you don't get the charge call. You get the block call. And now all of a sudden, Monte's got a chance to go to the line and shoot some free throws.
That's the top scoring backcourt in the NBA when you combine the numbers of Monte Ellis and Stephen Curry. But they've been pretty quiet offensively so far. Monte does not have a field goal yet. He is 0 of 6 from the floor, and now is connected on his 3rd free throw. Meantime, Stephen Curry just 3 of 8. They've really been relying on players like Tolliver and Chris Hunter early, and then off the bench getting 9 points from another D-leaguer in Reggie Williams.
All right, I'm going to take this quick time out here. I got so much love on my birthday yesterday from one of the members on our crew tonight, ML Freetag in the truck. Want to say happy birthday to ML. We love you, ML.
Working the graphics in the truck, along with Eddie Dean, Dan Seekman, David Hughes making the trip here to Oakland. 10 on the shot clock for Amari Stoudemire. A little hop, skip, and a foul on his way to the bucket. And down on the floor, I believe it will go against Anthony Tolliver. We'll get a timeout with 5:54 to go until halftime. Top 2 scoring teams in the NBA, and the scoreboard usually lighting up as it is here tonight. And it's Golden State hanging on to a 5-point lead over the Suns here in the second.
And they're going to get waxed.
You know, I'm wondering if we're going to see Eddie House on Friday for the New York Knicks. Of course, that was the trade, Eddie House for Nate Robinson, but Eddie did not play in the last game for New York. That's always fun to see him back in Phoenix. Now 104-91 with 2:12 to go. A 13-point lead for Utah, starting to pull away from the Boston Celtics. Suns coming in 1 game behind Utah, 1 ahead of Oklahoma City. And we told you earlier that the Spurs defeated the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Stoudemire to the 10th floor.
Oh, welcome to the party, pal. You know, Amari Stoudemire comes back in here with a nice power move to the baseline, gets himself right to the front of the rim.
Boy, if he could become engaged in this game, maybe the Suns could create a little space between themselves and the Warriors. Wide open look for Reggie Williams, and then Tolliver manhandles Dudley for the offensive rebound. Devin George offline and boarded by Grant Hill. Stoudemire picking up his first field goal about 5.5 minutes to go until halftime. Goran Dragic, a dazzling dish to Jared Dudley for the bucket.
Oh, I love that one by Goran Dragic because he's learning like Steve Nash has learned in the NBA. You got to take the ball way down to the hole, get the defense to commit, and then drop it off to your big guy. Just want to see Dudley go up and dunk a few more of those from time to time.
You know, and Dragic too, showing some strength too. Hangs in the air, absorbing some contact, and able to whip it over to Dudley. 1-point game inside, and the jam for Golden State and Reggie Williams, who is in double figures with 11. He and Tolliver each have 11. And then Amari loses it to Tolliver. Well, we told you these D-leaguers, they are going to play hard from start to finish.
Well, the hungry guy.
Yep. Monte Ellis, a free pass, and one. Well, this was a concern for Alvin Gentry. Coming off a hard-fought win at home to the Blazers last night. Looking at this Warriors team, just 19 victories, but we talked about how difficult they are to beat here at home. In their last 5 home games, Scotty, wins over New Orleans, Toronto, and Detroit. They had a 3-point loss to the Lakers and a 5-point loss to Portland. They have been very, very competitive, and you really have to commend their head coach, Don Nelson, for trying to keep this team together.
I mean, I just like the fact that they do play hard. They know they have their own home fans and friends and family in the stands, and so they bring it when they come here to Oracle Arena. And right now, you can see some of the bodies for the Suns starting to wither a little bit. Guys not getting down in a good defensive stance. You saw Grant Hill, who generally gets over and takes that charge. He was almost upright when Monte came flying down that lane.
Quickly throwing the double again, this time at Amari. They've done it as well to Jason Richardson. Amari looking to dish off to Grant Hill, and on the pass, fouled by Reggie Williams. Well, you bring up a good point, too, because the Suns, in the second game of back-to-backs this season, are 6-10, including a loss here in Oakland. Last time they were here, taking on the Warriors. And that was following a home win over the LA Clippers. And then they came here the day after Christmas and lost 132-127.
Yeah, that was eggnog. Too much eggnog over the holiday.
The tryptophan kicking in. Amari Stoudemire rising up and throwing it down for the Suns.
They just split the double team, so it doesn't matter. You got 2 mouses on me. I'll still just go in there to your house and just dunk it.
He really should have his way tonight against Golden State if he can stay out of foul difficulty. Swiveling was Monte Ellis. Floater by Tolliver, tipping Devin George, and ripping it away with a carom was Amari.
Devin George used to be so athletic. He used to slam fall of those.
Grant Hill misfired from 15 feet, had a good look at it. Grant starts out this game 1 of 2 shooting. Monte Ellis, hand in the face from Nash. And another scoop up by Amari Stoudemire. Had the 14 rebounds last night to go with the 18 points. Nash dials in for 3. Hitting rock bottom, Steve Nash. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for Nash here in the first half.
Give Grant Hill a lot of credit on that. He did a nice job boxing out, and he ran the floor, which sunk the defense down and let Nash dribble into that 3-point shot.
Suns shooting 70% from 3-point range. Monte Ellis dives in, past Grant Hill. Majestic move by Monte Ellis, starting to come to life offensively with his second field goal. And then a delay of game warning against Golden State. 9 points now for Monte Ellis, back to a 3-point Golden State lead. You can see the concern on the face of head coach Alvin Gentry. Quick spin move by Amari Stoudemire, right past Anthony Tolliver. He didn't know what hit him.
Amari Stoudemire's goggles got knocked down underneath his mouth like it was a chin strap, and the referees didn't call a foul.
And then it is C.J. Watson nailing it from the outside. Little push on Barbosa, who's off balance. Amari with the offensive rip and puts it in. And then looks over at Benny Adams and says, should have been an and one.
Why did Benny Adams have his hands up in the air like that? It looked like he was getting like robbed on the street.
Offensive foul against Golden State will give it back to Phoenix. Amari Stoudemire is second in the NBA in and ones, behind only LeBron James. He has been so forceful going to the cup. Thought he should have had an and one opportunity here.
Well, you understand why Amari Stoudemire leads the NBA in points in the paint. Hard hat, lunch pail bucket.
44 and 26 in this game against Golden State. Amar'e Stoudemire has really come to life in the second quarter. 4 ultra-quick hoops for Stat.
Well, I love this being aggressive when he came back in here after these 2 fouls, early fouls that he got everything right to the rack. And I love the offensive rebound outside of his own space, gets the bucket, concentration. After the contact, the Suns shooting 70% from beyond the arc, but because of Stoudemire's hard work inside, shooting 60% from the land of 2.
Getting his first field goals midway through the second quarter. 8 of his 11 here in the period, and Utah has finished off the Boston Celtics, winning it 110-97. Suns trying to keep pace, stay a game behind the Utah Jazz in the West. Barbosa tees up a 3, in and out, tough break for LB. Up ahead quickly comes Stephen Curry. Crosses over on Richardson, nearly picked his pocket. Oh, dribbling display, step back, fires, and another board for Grant Hill.
Well, Jason Richardson calls him his little brother. No way was he to let his little brother score on him that time.
Ooh, lob feed to Jason Richardson. He was shoved, according to Benny Adams, in the act of shooting. Again, I just marvel at Steve Nash. That is such a touch pass with Jason Richardson sealing off the defender. He does it from long distance. He does it from the three-point line, and the fans not happy as they watch it on the video boards.
I think Benny missed one earlier, so it's fair that maybe it should even itself out here in this first half.
Yeah, they used to cheer Jason Richardson. Now he is the enemy in the purple jersey, and I didn't see a whole lot of contact there either. Jay Rich sold it pretty well. Richardson over the last 14 games averaging 19 points for the Suns.
Yeah, normally in the NBA you say first team to 100 wins, but not with these 2 teams. It might be the first team to 120 will win this ball game.
The first points of the second quarter for Richardson, who had 15 in the opening stanza. Grant Hill locks down on Reggie Williams, and is now Monte Ellis using a Tolliver screen, pushing off on Amar'e Stoudemire, fires and connects. Tough shot by Monte Ellis.
That's about all Stoudemire could do, especially with those 2 fouls. Just a better offensive move than Stoudemire could defend.
3 Warrior players with 11 points: Tolliver, Ellis, and Reggie Williams. Amar'e wants it on the low block. There's that double and a foul on C.J. Watson.
Well, they gave him a shot opportunity for attempt for that because he got fouled when he was in the air. He didn't throw that ball back to the basket, but I guess with those 5 Warrior fouls, it doesn't matter. It's 2 shots regardless.
Amar'e Stoudemire, who had a string of 33 consecutive made free throws over the past week or so, steps back to the line, whether it's the home game HD telecasts, the Suns live pregame and postgame shows, or its exclusive access to the team. Fox Sports Arizona covers the Suns like no one else on Planet Orange.
Goff had another streak broken last night. He had, 21, 22 games. He was approaching Tom Chambers' franchise record
of 19 points or more.
19 points or more in 23 straight games. So he ended up last night with 18. And he had a free throw that he missed late in that Mall game that would have gave him that 19-point plateau.
Well, he still has the longest current streak in the NBA of 23 straight of 18 or more. Batted around. Don Nelson thought it was a goaltend against Phoenix. Instead, it's Grant Hill wanting to back down, use his size against the smaller Stephen Curry, who takes the hit and draws the offensive foul on Grant Hill, and Curry's in a little bit of pain.
Yeah, he got a shoulder right to either the chest or the chin, his head snapped back. He did not like it one bit. Did they call an offensive foul on Grant on that
They
one?
sure did.
Did they really? Are you kidding me? This is a turn to the basket, goes straight up with his arms. And Curry just took one on the chops, and a rookie getting that call? Excuse me? Whew, shocking.
Yes, Grant Hill incredulous over that call. Picks up his second personal, 2 on Hill, Stoudemire, Lopez. Channing Frye picked up 3 personals here in the first half. Lob feed looking for Monte Ellis was Anthony Tolliver. 35 seconds to go until halftime. K-Ray and Tom Chambers standing by in Phoenix with the halftime report.
Thought Nash might go for the 2-for-1 pull-up 3-point bomb on that particular play, but decided to execute the offense, get the best shot available.
Suns' biggest lead has been only 4 points in the first half. Knocked out of bounds by Ellis. Suns will have it with 4 seconds on the shot clock. For the Warriors, their biggest advantage was 6. A very tight contest here in the first half. Suns shooting 58% from the field. 2 seconds on the shot clock for Jay Rich, who baits Monte Ellis into the foul. And Monte almost slung that ball into the stands. Good veteran move by Jason Richardson, who is oh so happy about his Michigan State team in the Sweet 16. Although losing one of their top players to a torn Achilles tendon, so he was a little worried about them going into that Sweet 16, and the fans not happy with that call either, this time going against Monte Ellis. But it results in Jay Rich going back to the line with 16.8 to go until halftime. Jason had 16 points last night. An excellent job defensively on Brandon Roy, who missed 17 of his 25 shots. And I know you remarked how critical that was in the Suns' victory. Roy did come to life a little bit in that fourth quarter, but I think Jay Rich wore him down.
He really did. I mean, I think he forced him into tough shots. He forced him into going directions he's not comfortable going and taking shots that he doesn't like to take. So credit Jason Richardson for a lot of that Suns victory last night. It wasn't a pretty game, but I think that's one of the ways that, you know, Galvin Gentry's got this team believing that they don't always have to light up the scoreboard to get a win. And certainly in the playoffs, you're not always going to be able to do that against some of the better defensive teams, which you're going to run into.
Now, that was a 3-point shot attempt by Jason Richardson, so he receives the 3 free throws. Richardson at perfect 5 of 5 at the line. The Suns as a team 14 of 15 from the stripe. Final 15 seconds here of the first half. Suns matching their biggest lead up by 4, 65-61. 126 points combined. 2 seconds, 1 second for Monte Ellis, drives and draws the contact. With 0.8 left to go here in the half.
I've never seen a player take so long to go into his move. I normally like to start that with somewhere between the 8 and the 10-second shot clock or game clock, but Monte doesn't go to about 5 seconds, but he's just so darn fast. He even gets by Leandro Barbosa to get that foul call. Now there's not but less than a second left to go in this half. Little time for the Suns to do left something with the ball.
And that's really the game of Monte Ellis too. He's so explosive, but also can be very reckless in going to the hoop. The reckless abandon. 5th-year player coming out of high school in Mississippi. Had 39 against San Antonio this past Friday. 6th in the NBA in scoring. His season high was 46 against the Dallas Mavericks. One more free throw. In and out. Rebounded by Richardson. And we have hit halftime here from Oakland, California. And the Suns will head to the locker room leading 65-62 and led by Jason Richardson's 20 points.
Yeah, Jason Richardson, Amari Stoudemire, 33 of the 65 points. Throws 17 points in there off the bench for the Suns. What a great start offensively.
Suns shoot 64% from far away, 7 of 11 from three-point land. And we've come to the end of the first half with the score. The Suns 65, Warriors 62. Stay tuned for the Suns.com halftime report with Kevin Ray and Tom Chambers. You're watching Phoenix Suns basketball presented by Casino Arizona. Amari and the Suns outscore the corralling Ellis and Curry as we go inside the box score with Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. If you take a look at the D-Leaguers, it is Tolliver, Williams, and Hunter combining for 31 points and 10 rebounds in the first half. And Corey Maggette begins the second half by picking up his 4th personal foul. They've had a little battle tonight, those former Blue Devils in Maggette and Grant Hill.
Yeah, they really have. And I'll tell you, Jason Richardson and Amari Stoudemire, tremendous in that first half. 10 of 15 from the field shooting.
Nash unable to score, shooting off of 1 foot, and now it's Monte Ellis. He and Curry combined 6 of 19 from the field. Jay Rich went for the swat, got a piece of it, and it's cleared by Robin Lopez. Of course, start at nearby Stanford in Menlo Park, about a half-hour drive from here. Jay Rich, what a move, going to the left hand off the glass.
He knows these rims. He's just getting out and running. He's using his wheels to get into the basket, but he's also shooting the ball from beyond the arc well as too.
Well, dare I say, that was a Michael Jordan-esque as he changed the flight of the shot, went to the left hand in midair, and then inside it's Monte Ellis digging in on Grant Hill.
I think Grant Hill thought he was not going to be able to dribble the basketball, and thought it was going to be a traveling call if he did. When he put the ball on the floor, it seemed like all the guys in the purple jerseys were surprised.
Stoudemire rams into Chris Hunter. Had a strong start, hitting his first 4 shots. Stoudemire was perfect from the field himself and still is. Amari, actually, check that. He has missed 1. Nope, they've got Amari at 5 of 5. There we go. I gotta check that stat monitor, and it is 5 of 5 for Stoudemire. Hunter is a perfect 4 of 4. Going to the left hand was Corey Maggette, and he was fouled in the act by it's Robin Lopez. Suns broadcast made available in high definition by Verizon Wireless. Check your cable or satellite listings for HD channels. Scott, we've learned in coming here to Oakland and watching these two teams, don't even try to look at the stat monitor. Don't look down, because if you blink, you will miss some serious action between these two squads.
Well, I've learned that the hard way. I missed some really good follow jams and some spectacular passes by doing just that, trying to look at guys' field goal percentage from 3-point shot. All of a sudden, the guy, they're running down, you hear the crowd oohing and ahhing. You say, oh, man, I just missed another one. I hope you got my back on those plays, Tom.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? They have a very passionate fan base here, and the big news in the Bay Area is that these Warriors are now up for sale. Yes, a for sale sign is about to go up. Owner Chris Cohen has hired a company to try to sell the team. He took over in 1995. Robin Lopez went for the dunk. Jay Rich cleans up the mess. But Chris Cohen, owner since 1995, his Warriors team has only been to the playoffs once since he took over, and there's reports that the Oracle CEO is interested in buying the team, and that's Larry Ellison. 4th richest man in the world, I am told. But Larry Ellison is worth $25 billion.
That's it?
Yeah, that's about it.
Boy, not bad for a down economy.
Lives in the Bay Area, so a lot of negotiating still to go. But Stephen Curry was talking about what a season it has been in his rookie year. He could write a book about this team with all the injuries and the D-League players. Don Nelson had pneumonia. Nash taking aim, again off of 1 foot, and picked up by Corey Maggette.
Not sure if that's the play Nash really wanted. I think he wanted to drop it off to his big guy who was running the floor with him, but just couldn't find an angle.
Richardson with the strip. Hands it off to Grant Hill, charging in. And the foul taken by Stephen Curry.
Every time Grant Hill turns around, Curry's in his way. It's the second time now Curry's gotten offensive fouls against Grant Hill.
Yeah, the defense from Stephen Curry is almost as impressive as his offense. He had 3 steals in the first half and then giving up his body. Just another comparison to Steve Nash, who does it all the time for the Suns. Phoenix on top by 5, 73-68. Richardson draped all over Monte Ellis, who finds Stephen Curry. Soft touch from about 14 feet for Stephen Curry.
Yeah, beautiful curling play on the weak side, away from the ball. Curry finds himself right in front of the basket. That's lights out.
Richardson right on line. Jay Rich, he is smoking hot. 26 points for Richardson. 9 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 far away. Grant Hill went down, and down goes the hoop for Chris Hunter. Officials didn't bite on that fall from Grant.
Now, a little bit of a flop that time by Grant Hill, but I like the catch and finish by this kid Hunter. He does impress me.
Hunter still has not missed from the field. Robin Lopez lays it up. And really, there is no defender on this Warriors team that could defend the 7-footer Robin Lopez or even Amari Stoudemire. They're going with Anthony Tolliver, who's really a power forward in this league. They're without Andres Biedrins and Ronny Turiaf, both out with injuries. And there's Tolliver sticking it from the corner.
That's a second 3-point shot tonight. I said he doesn't take a lot of 3-point shots. I stand corrected. He's got 110 3-point field goal attempts this season.
Nash lobbed it into Amari. Robin went for the stuff on the follow. Couldn't cram it down. And back comes Golden State, hanging in this game. So tough to beat at home. Tolliver wants to light up another 3. Back iron. And finally corralled by Robin Lopez. Warriors playing those tight games here at home, winning 3 of their last 5, and the 2 losses to the Lakers and Portland in very tight games. Curry all over Steve Nash, pulls back, creates some space, catches the side of the backboard. Down went Chris Hunter, who is slow to get up. Monte Ellis. Look at Jason Richardson doing a tremendous job locking up Ellis, not allowing him to get to the cup. 10 on the shot clock, nothing happening offensively for Golden State. Curry trying to create, whips it into Chris Hunter. Partially deflected, 2 on the shot clock from Monte Ellis. Front iron, and high above the crowd is Richardson, doing it all for the Suns.
If I'm Alvin Gentry and that coaching staff, I'm a little bit worried right now. It just seems like the Suns are a little out of sync offensively, and defensively slow to get to the basketball. I wonder if that energy level is starting to decrease after having getting in at 2:30 in the morning last night.
You know, Steve Nash talked about this style too, saying the run and gun Suns used to play this way over the last 3 or 4 years, but they've slowed down a bit and they don't really want to get into a full force running game with the Golden State Warriors.
No, I don't think they do. Alvin Gentry doesn't want to right now. Gets himself a timeout.
6:55 to go here in the third quarter, and it's the Suns hanging on by just 2. Game normal messaging rates apply. Jason Richardson was a stellar rookie here in Oakland for the Golden State Warriors. Spent his first 6 years as a Warrior. Look at him go left. He has 26 points and counting here in the third.
Yeah, I love that right there. You know, 6 quick points out of the locker room at halftime. Get your team off to a fast start, but Jason Richardson needs some help. And Amar'e Stoudemire's doing it, and some guys off the bench. But some of these other starters got to get themselves going.
They have to try to slow down the shooters of the Golden State Warriors. Monte Ellis gets to the cup. He is so crafty and quick. Dynamite player. Monte Ellis, 16 points. And that leads the way for the Warriors. Jay Rich went back to that left hand. And out of the pack comes Corey Maggette. Maggette playing with the 4 personal fouls.
I can just see why Monte Ellis is 6th in the NBA in scoring, almost 26 a game. He's just so fast.
Volleyballed around and finally picked up by Nash. Wants to light up a 3, comes up short. And then it looks like it goes off of Stephen Curry, and the Suns will have it.
And that's because the energy level of Jason Richardson fighting Curry for that rebound. Curry wasn't able to corral it cleanly. But Steve Nash does not have his shots tonight. That's normally one he makes with his body on balance. And there's Jason Richardson battling Curry right in front of that Warriors bench. He got the ball back.
Nash has missed his 4 shots here in the third quarter. Jay Rich over to Grant Hill. Defended by Chris Hunter. Pull-up jump shot for Grant Hill, ripping the cords. And Grant picks up his 3rd field goal. You know, going back to Jason Richardson, 26 points, and not surprising, the Warriors have given up some very big scoring nights this season. 15 players have scored 35 points or more on the Golden State Warriors. What a floater from Stephen Curry, lofted up and in.
A little pitter-patter dribble right to the front of the rim.
And there's Jay Rich, down it goes for 3. 29 points for Richardson. Golden State gave up 36 to Nash earlier this season. Durant had 45 on them, and Brandon Jennings scored his 55 against the Warriors. Robin Lopez crushing Tolliver to the floor. A hard foul committed by Robin Lopez. Go back to the shot from Stephen Curry.
I love that one right there. A little pitter-patter dribble. If you told me the last 30 games who was the rookie of the year, probably for the second half of the season, I'd have to say it was Steph Curry. But Tyreke Evans off to that fast start out of the gate for the entire NBA season probably would be my choice.
Well, Curry with that feathery touch. He's in double figures. 6 different Warriors now have scored in double figures. Off the bench, Reggie Williams has 11 along with the 5 starters. As you take a look at the numbers for Steph Curry over the last 30 games. He also registered a triple-double this season against the Clippers when he had 36 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds. NBA hasn't seen numbers like that from a rookie since a bunch of Hall of Famers, including a future Hall of Famer, Jason Kidd. Big O, Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan. It is a very heady list that Stephen Curry joined, putting up those kind of numbers. 82-81, Amar'e Stoudemire. Went over to Grant Hill, threw his hands. Would have had the easy layup, and now he's face up on Reggie Williams. Ducks in, draws the contact, a little ahead of the stripe, earning a ticket to the line. Grant Hill, who's a perfect 2 of 2 free throw shooting. The Suns as a team have only missed once in 15 attempts.
This reminds me exactly of the game Grant Hill had last night. Started extremely slow, but stayed with it in the ball game. Mentioned how he's a smart player, realizing that there's 2 halves to basketball. He came out in the second half and, well, having a heck of a game. Posted a double-double, and I think that's kind of what he's done tonight. Started a little slow. Now he's starting to pick his game up. He's got the double figures in scoring now with the 10 points. Got himself 4 boards.
He's a little fired up, too, as Duke dumped the Cal Bears. And we'll meet per do in the Sweet 16. I'm happy with that. 18,722 here at Oracle Arena. Nice crowd, especially for a team that comes in 19-50 on the season. Shot clock inside of 10. Very difficult shot. Hoisted up by Monte Ellis, and the Suns will have it on the side. Phoenix still shooting 56% from the field and 8 of 12 from three-point range. Jay Rich leading all scorers with the 29 points. 4.5 to go here in the third. Stoudemire head down against two defenders, muscles it up, and he'll head back to the line.
I like when Amari gets that ball, kind of cradles it with two hands, not really in his hands, more in his forearms, and keeps it away from both of those defenders and fights his ball up to the basket. Almost got that bucket to drop.
Amari and Jared Dudley, the only two Suns players to play all 71 games so far this season. Sign up for My Suns Mobile, powered by Verizon Wireless. Get text messages with breaking Suns news, special offers, and promotions. Visit suns.com for more information. And here comes Jared Dudley. He will replace Grant Hill. Amari was a madman last night against Portland. When he was upset at that call in the fourth quarter, he took over. I mean, he was upset. He was mad, and boy, the Suns really went to him down in the low block, and it was the performance of Stoudemire in the fourth quarter along with Dudley and Grant Hill providing the 6-point victory over the Blazers. Good defense from Fry may have caught a portion of the arm of Anthony Tolliver.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Vinny Adams is off his game tonight. His timing and the speed of these players and reaction just hasn't been well. I thought Channing Frye did a nice job really handling that first move by Tolliver, and as he came by, he got a hand on the basketball, but not much wrist or forearm control, contact on that one. A little shocking. Vinny Adams, one of the better officials in the NBA tonight, but I think when this game gets going so quickly like this, all these points being scored, sometimes these officials get caught out of position.
Well, that's a tough one, too, for Channing Frye. It's his fourth. Channing with 4 personal fouls in just 10 minutes of play. The Suns had an excellent fourth quarter last night in the win over the Blazers, and they outscored them 29-19. They're going to need that kind of an effort here against Golden State.
I see that night. Tolliver with 18 points, leading the Golden State Warriors in scoring and 7 boards.
Jay Rich comes up short. Amari hits the floor. Here comes Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis takes it in on Jared Dudley. Over the top goes your guy, Anthony Tolliver. He now has 20 points. Again, shouldn't be too surprised. He had 19 points, 11 rebounds in the last game against the Suns in Phoenix. It's a 1-point game. Tolliver climbing the ladder on that foul. And a D3 violation whistled against the Warriors. It goes against Reggie Williams, who is caught in the lane. Back to Anthony Tolliver off the trampoline and the follow of the Monte Ellis miss.
No, that's nice. He got right in between both Channing Frye and Jared Dudley and slammed that thing home. Beautiful play. We talked about those hungry guys, and now he's getting a nice little talking to over there by Don Nelson. So that's the kind of stuff that's going to keep you in this league, son.
Nash hits the technical free throw, shooting better than 94% from the line. And if Nash is able to make 18 straight free throws at this point this season, he would actually pass Mark Price as the most accurate free throw shooter in NBA history. Channing Frye set up by Nash, who has picked up his 9th assist for Channing Frye, 8 points off the bench. Back comes Corey Maggette. Maggette, one of those 5 starters in double figures. He has 13. 3:15 to go. Nash shut down by Curry. Solid defense. Nash missed everything. And up ahead is Reggie Williams. Fires it into the corner. Quick shot for 3. Stephen Curry. Architecturally perfect shot. The quick release. And Curry now has 14. Golden State taking the 1-point lead. Final 3 minutes of the third. Stoudemire. Powerful move inside on Tolliver.
Goodness, we've already got more points scored tonight in this ball game than we had all points scored last night's game. We've still got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third period.
Is that what you're doing? You're doing the math over there.
The math over here. We had 181 points scored in this game already.
Suns had 93 in the victory over Portland. 91 already. Steph Curry trying to pick the pocket of Dudley. Steps out of bounds. Suns will have it.
We had 180 scored last night. We're sitting on 181 tonight for both teams. And I'll tell you what, though, the Suns are in a dogfight regardless of how you look at it. I mean, you hope that they can the #1 team in the NBA can outscore the #2 team in the NBA, but it's going to be tough.
You can't help but be impressed with the play of Stephen Curry offensively and defensively for the Suns. Amar'e Stoudemire muscles in for 2 of his 19 points.
Players, so he's got to have a cost between Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, and I like Stephen Curry there, second on that list. I do like Jennings' quickness and his fearlessness, but I think the other 2 players, Curry and Tyreek, a step above.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, too, what New Orleans does with Darren Collison. I mentioned that Chris Paul returned tonight for New Orleans, and their victory over the Dallas Mavericks, who have stumbled quite a bit since their 13-game win streak. 2:10 to go here in the third. It's good when any other Western Conference playoff contender loses. Chest-to-chest combat there between Curry and Dudley. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They'll put 14 up on the shot clock now for Dudley to inbounds. Out there with Stoudemire, Dragic, Channing Frye, and Jason Richardson to close out the third. Channing Frye, free for 3, absolutely for Channing Frye. Suns are still burning up from 3-point range. 9 of 14. Frye is a perfect 3 of 3 from far away.
What a fantastic pass behind the back. Goran Dragic with his 5th assist in this game.
Great call. You're right. He has been sensational dishing out those passes. And Alvin Gentry is livid here.
Yeah, he saw the traveling call, the same one that I had there, and he wanted that basketball back for his team, saying that McGetty walked with that basketball before he put it on the floor.
Benny Adams just kind of strolls over in front of Alvin, kind of patiently listens to him. That is a sign of a very good referee, not overreacting. Shot clock's at 5 for Monte. Dials it in. Right on line for Monte Ellis. He has 18. Golden State still led by Tolliver's 20.
Suns just could not pull away.
Can't shake these guys.
5 points tonight.
Just cannot shake these Golden State Warriors. Amar'e Stoudemire digs in. Tries to power it up on Tolliver, and let's see.
I think they're going to call
a traveling violation on Amar'e Stoudemire.
He took that shot. It did not hit the rim, and he grabbed the ball on the other side, and that is a walk.
That'll hand it over to Golden State. The Suns have turned it over 17 times, leading to 21 points by the Golden State Warriors. So that's the reason why it's such a tight contest, with the Suns shooting the ball so well. 55% from the field, 64% from 3-point range. Minute to go in the third. Tolliver drives on Amar'e Stoudemire, and a foul. It's a knee to Tolliver by, I believe it was Dragic. That's right, Goran Dragic caught him on the way by. That's a second on Goran, and will result in 2 free throws by Anthony Tolliver. Another one of those globetrotters here on this Golden State team.
You remember Bo Outlaw? Well, these guys playing like he's an energy guy like Bo Outlaw with more offensive game.
I was about to say, he's Bo Outlaw with a 3-point shot and a pretty nice stroke. Well, it was always entertaining, though, to see Bo Outlaw at the free throw line. You just had to be careful. Don't stand too close. You might get hit by his elbow. Tolliver's a 75% free throw shooter. We do, Bo. Oh, man, one of the most animated, friendly guys to ever play in the NBA.
Yeah, what an ugly free throw shot. I mean, that elbow would pop outside like a chicken wing. Ugh, horrible.
Like it was dislocated. Tolliver had a 30-point game earlier this season. You talk about making the most of your opportunity. Playing in Germany, 3 different D-League teams over the past 2 years. Tolliver now has 22 points. He scored the 30 earlier this season against the Hornets. And he's got a double-double as well. Dudley takes aim from the corner. Corner pocket 3. Down it goes for Jared Dudley. And the Suns now have drilled 10 3-pointers in 15 attempts. Don't turn your back. It's Tolliver up and under, and a late whistle underneath the hoop. Frye was there. Have to be careful. Frye already has the 4 fouls, but it's whistled against Jared Dudley.
Well, this is a good interior pass this time, and I'm not quite sure where the contact was. I'm not sure if they're saying Tolliver got hit from behind and pushed out of position, but certainly wasn't as much contact as we've seen as some of these players have gone to the hole earlier in this first half of this ball game.
I guess it's a foul for trying to get out of the way. That's what Jared Dudley was attempting. See the numbers for Tolliver. Golden State Warriors next up. They'll host Memphis here on Wednesday, and then the Mavericks come to town on Saturday. Well, this is a defense that has been giving up so many points over the last 4, almost 130 points per game allowed by the Warriors, but keeping pace with the Suns, trailing by 2, final 30 seconds of the third. Suns trying to win this game, the second set of a back-to-back situation. 6-10 this year in back-to-back games in that second game. Jason Richardson picked clean by Monte Ellis. Well, there you have it again, Ellis and Stephen Curry. You have to hang on to that basketball and really protect it.
They got some fast hands, gets in here out of position, but still with those quick hands able to cover and strip that basketball away.
Mentioned that Ellis second in the league in steals. Richardson went up, came down, partially deflected, and then cans it. What a shot by Jason Richardson, maintaining his composure. 31 points for the former Warrior back here in Oakland. 4-point lead for Phoenix. Final seconds. Monte Ellis fires for 3 to end the third. 1-point game going to the fourth. Hang on to your hats. Monte Ellis, 21 points for Golden State, hitting the 3 to end the third quarter. And the Suns were outscored by Golden State 36-34 in that third period.
Well, Warriors on fire, 6 players in double figures led by Tom.
It's on the road, and it's not just 99 points after 3 quarters. Wow, neither team, though, is led by more than 6 points in this game. A seesaw affair for sure. Dragic drives left, trying to duck in past C.J. Watson, straight but strong, and ripped out of there by Reggie Williams. Look at the confidence of this young man from the Virginia Military Institute.
Oh, come on, Reggie Williams going coast to coast, laying that thing up on glass, giving the Warriors the first team to score 100 points. I don't think a lot of those laws going to apply to this game.
I don't know. Yeah, throw that one out the window. Grant Hill went for the stuff, met at the top by Anthony Tolliver, who would have none of that. Back the other way, Reggie Williams, contact with Goran Dragic. Anthony Tolliver and his defense has just lit up Oracle Arena.
His defense, his offense, too. Grant Hill thinks he's going in here to flush one, but Tolliver coming across from that weak side meets him on the 10th floor and says, Duke Star, not in this house tonight.
That is just a lack of respect is what it is. A lack of respect for your elders. Reggie Williams calmly sinks the first. Williams now off the bench with 14 points. Played last year in France. Scott talked about his scintillating shooting numbers coming into this game. Shooting better than 50% from the field, almost 50% from three-point range. He was a 90% free throw shooter, but just went 1 of 2. 2-point advantage for Golden State. Amundsen on the court to begin the fourth. Jay Rich also taking a break after his 31 points after 3 quarters of play, and Goran Dragic downloads another big shot for Phoenix.
Soren Goran Dragic, his confidence level this year has been off the charts, and I love his stroke from beyond the arc.
Suns have missed only 5 3-point attempts in 16 shots from far away. On the drive is Reggie Williams, and back to the stripe will go Reggie.
Well, Lou Amundsen would back up if he's guarding Reggie Williams. This kid's quick for his size.
We told you at the outset that today Golden State Warriors waived Raja Bell in order to sign Reggie Williams for the remainder of the season. And Raja was here earlier talking to some of his former teammates, the Phoenix Suns, and he was okay with that move by Golden State because he knew he wouldn't play the rest of the way with that wrist surgery, and Williams now has missed 2 consecutive free throws.
Hey, if I'm Larry Riley, the general manager, and Don Nelson, the head coach, why wouldn't you want this guy on your team for the remainder of the season? I would have said bye-bye to Raja a long time ago. This kid can play.
Sometimes you wonder what took so long for a player like that to be called up from the D-League. He was averaging 26 points a game for Sioux Falls when he got the call. Dragic trying to drive on C.J. Watson, very solid defender. Dudley from deep. Inside position for who else? Reggie Williams. Up ahead to Monte Ellis. Suns through the double-team trap at him, goes into the backcourt, and that's a turnover committed by Golden State.
Yeah, give Dudley and Dragic, the killer D's, a lot of credit for that time, really getting Monte in a bad way right here in the coffin corner and forced him to go ball into the back court.
Suns lost last time they came here to Oakland, trying to stay hot. Phoenix has won 18 of their last 23 games. Grant Hill misses inside right at the cup. Monte Ellis full head of steam. No-look pass. C.J. Watson back iron. Amundsen inside position, keeping Anthony Morrow off the boards. 2 minutes deep into this fourth period. Dragic leading the active hands from Golden State and fires it out of bounds. So again, Goran Dragic goes into the lane. 2 or 3 defenders poking at the ball, and then he tried to fire it over at Channing Frye, but the Suns commit their 19th turnover. Deadlocked at 102. Suns back home Friday. Take on Mike D'Antoni's Knicks. Bounces around and off. Cleared by Channing Frye. Channing has been much stronger on the board, especially recently for the Suns. Dudley takes aim for 3. Rock bottom for Jared Dudley.
And a great find once again by Goran Dragic, registering his 6th assist to go along with his 6 points. But Dudley been diddly off that bench. 4 of 8 shooting.
Like that.
2 for 4 from behind the arc.
Deadly Dudley, and the Suns just cannot miss from three-point range. 12 of 18. Scoop shot with the left hand. Into the paint went C.J. Watson. C.J. Watson can put up points in a hurry. He had a 40-point game earlier this season. Another block for Anthony Tolliver. Sent away Lou Amundsen. C.J. Watson back the other way. Alvin Gentry may start to think about slowing things down.
He's going to have to manage this fourth quarter more than he generally does. Look at this crowd is into the game, and he's got some guys out here that just aren't that fresh right now. Execution of the offense hasn't been picture perfect.
Well, you can feel the fervor of the crowd here in Oakland. Dudley couldn't connect. Monte Ellis hesitation move. Got it over to Reggie Williams, who's hacked in the act. Golden State has seized the momentum. We'll get a timeout with 8:29 to go. Here from Oakland, California. Suns in a dogfight. Channing Frye has picked up his 5th personal foul. Anthony Tolliver doing it on the defensive end. And then Golden State streaking the other way. C.J. Watson and the Warriors up 1. Off guard, Anthony Tolliver putting a stamp on Grant Hill's shot. That by far is the defensive play of the game.
Did you say they're pumped up here in Oracle Arena? Because I'll tell you what, Anthony Tolliver got up there and pumped that shot out of there by Grant Hill. I'll tell you, I like when those big guys get nasty on the defensive end, down low.
Oh, it's just a fascinating game between these two teams. Suns headed toward the playoffs. Golden State just trying to head for respectability down the stretch. And Amari Stoudemire will come back for Phoenix along with Jason Richardson. Jay Rich with the 31 points. Stoudemire has 19. Tolliver has been sensational for these Warriors. And Reggie Williams will be making his way to the line. Golden State from the free throw line tonight. Now 25 of 31.
Glad Amari Stoudemire got back in his basketball game, and maybe a bit earlier than he generally would come back in the fourth period, but they need his hustle and muscle and maybe a little defense down low to finish out this ball game, because too many of these guys in a white jersey keep flying to the hole. Too bad we can't get Lopez out there, but I saw him working on his back. I think his back, low back or hammy or something is tight. He's trying to stretch out some part of his low part of his body.
He's been doing that the last few timeouts. There's no question that Robin Lopez is having some back pain here tonight. Shot clock is down to 5 for Jason Richardson. He's been feeling it. Grant Hill, offensive rebound, pump fake, strip from behind, but a foul on C.J. Watson. I'll tell you what, Amari Stoudemire coming in out of that last timeout is wanting to dish out some punishment. And he had a little shove for Anthony Tolliver after the last free throw at the other end. Then he tried to set a screen on C.J. Watson, but Amari Stoudemire has come back very motivated to close out this game in the fourth quarter. He's been very motivated the last couple of months. Grant Hill been so good from the free throw line all season long, but misfires on the first. 4 or 5 from the stripe for Grant tonight. And the the lead is now 2 for Golden State. Remember, if they win here tonight, Don Nelson would just be 4 victories away from passing Lenny Wilkens as the winningest all-time coach in NBA history.
Yeah, he can ride up to the sunsets of Hawaii after that. I think Nelly is eyeing that crown, so to speak, as the winningest coach and saying, see you later to the NBA. It's been great to me.
Well, we talked about the scenario. What if he comes up 1 victory short after this season? They get an ownership change, and they have to decide whether or not to bring Don Nelson back. Amari Stoudemire digs in on a second effort. A tenacious Amari Stoudemire, another 20-plus point game. He has 21 for the Suns.
You called it, Tom. He put his hard hat on the bench and came back with his lunch pail and smacked somebody with his thermos on that play to get himself a hard-fought basket.
Suns are out rebounding the Warriors 42-30. Ellis missed that layup. It was a gorgeous pass from Tolliver. Tolliver has really shown us some skills. 3-point shooting, the rebounding, the block shots, and then the passing as that pass went over the outstretched arms of Jared Dudley.
It's like a balloon when it came out of his hands. It just floated about 20 feet in the air. And that's the Suns, what, 20th turnover tonight? Way too many.
Resulting in 23 points so far for the Warriors. Inside of 7 minutes to go here in the 4th. Ellis setting up Tolliver, and Tolliver puts it in. Amidst some pressure from Suns interior defenders, Anthony Tolliver, 25 points. Told you his season high is 30 that he had against the Hornets. Dragic with confidence from the outside, just rims off. I like the stroke though from Goran Dragic, no hesitation. Reggie Williams, he doesn't hesitate as he pumps it in past Grant Hill.
Alvin Gentry with this little mini spurt here by the Warriors got Steve Nash up off that bench. Gonna check back into this basketball game, see if he can't get some good execution offensively.
Nash crouched down at the scorer's table. Amari Stoudemire spins free. 23 for Stat. Back to a 2-point game. There is some serious desire in the eyes of Amari Stoudemire. He is really focused. Wide right by a wide margin for Monte Ellis. Ellis has not been shy. Pumping up 22 shots, hitting 7, comes away with the steal. Grant Hill, the only one that can catch him. And he watches as Monte Ellis comes away with a royal flush.
That was impressive. I thought he was going to go in there and lay that thing up off the backboard and use the rim as protection, but Grant Hill said, no way, I don't want any part of those young legs.
Ball fake, Dragic sets up Grant Hill. Nowhere to go inside. Dudley for 3, way short. And then C.J. Watson bumped by Dragic, no call. Here come the Warriors in transition. Monte Ellis went to the left hand, caught the underside of the rim. A break for the Suns as we get a timeout with 5:16 to go here in the 4th quarter. A very compelling game between the Suns and Golden State. Grant Hill thought about going after Monte Ellis coming out of this steal, but it's Monte. Hello to the 10th floor, and a 4-point lead for Golden State. Game presented by Schwartz Laser Eye Centers, teamidoc.com. See the best that you can see. Jay Rich has 31 points, and here we see him, a one-timer, the bounce feed to Robin Lopez.
I think all these guys learned this little one-handed shuffle pass from Steve Nash, and that was right on the money to Big Rob, who lays it in the bucket.
Scott, you look at Golden State right now in the steals department, they are just a group of thieves. Stephen Curry has 4 steals, 3 for Monte Ellis and Anthony Tolliver. Suns have turned the ball over 21 times, and this Golden State team has come away with 11 steals already. And you know what that leads to? Fast break opportunities. 29 fast break points for the Warriors, 28 for the Suns. So money time for Phoenix. Grant Hill has been so good in the crunch, along with Steve Nash, who's back on the floor for Alvin Gentry. Jay Rich, 4 of 7 3-point shooting. Suns as a team, 12 of 21 from far away. Nearing the 5-minute mark here of the 4th. Amari Stoudemire going to work on Anthony Tolliver, who reached in. And for Tolliver, he picks up his 2nd personal foul. Actually, no, they're going to call it on Monte Ellis. That's why. Anthony Tolliver was looking over at referee Tom Washington, couldn't believe the call, and it's Monte instead with his second.
Well, that's a good aggressive move that time, coming out of that timeout. Falling behind by 4, nearly had fallen behind by 6. The layup that just didn't go that time for Ellis, but come back inside, get yourself an easy bucket or an opportunity to go to the line. And Amar'e Stoudemire, you talked about how good he's been from the free throw line, calmly sank them both.
And approaching another 30-point game. Amar'e has 25. He scored 30 or more in 6 of the last 10 games for Phoenix. Cuts the lead to 2. Left-hander Reggie Williams came up short.
Okay, but when are they going to realize that this Williams is left-handed and not making him go back to his weak hand, the right side? They keep running that screen roll for him to come off in that corner, turn that corner and go into his left.
They ought to know by now. He has 19 points already in the game. Stoudemire goes up and under the hoop, trying to shoot it over the backboard.
He shot it behind into the cameras, behind the backboard? You can't do that.
And now we have a discussion. Benny Adams talking with Jason Phillips, and now Alvin Gentry sprinting along the sidelines, wondering how in the world Amar'e Stoudemire will not receive 2 free throws.
Yeah, you can't shoot the ball into the back of the backboard and call it a field goal attempt. I mean, I think that's the thing. Well, Alvin Gentry's going to say he got ridden underneath the board while he was into his shot attempt, but I don't think Benny Adams is going to buy that one.
You do have a point there. And Alvin Gentry returns to his seat with his team trailing by 2. Nash off balance, fades and connects. What a shot by Steve Nash.
It's not off balance. Nash is never off balance. He just faded to his right to get away from the defense. I think that was tremendous balance.
Oh, you're right. Just another gorgeous direct hit for Nash in double figures, scoring with 10. He also has 10 assists and 6 rebounds. Netting it from the perimeter, Reggie Williams. I think the league is starting to find out about the talents of Reggie Williams. Leading the nation in scoring consecutive seasons, goes undrafted, making a real statement here tonight. And Stoudemire comes back and banks it in past Tolliver.
Oh, Stoudemire had 2 quick fouls. You imagine, you were right. If he didn't get those 2 early fouls, he might have gone for 40 points tonight. But I'll tell you what, this kid right here, Williams, he's trying to get 6th man of the year off of 10-day contracts.
They are going to be chanting Reggie here in Oakland, and it's not for Reggie Jackson, who is a star for the A's. It's Reggie Williams, now with 24. Go back to Amar'e, pitch it out, Jason Richardson. Good look for 3, down it goes. He felt he was fouled too by Morrow. But for Jason Richardson, now 34 points.
I said first team to 120 might win this basketball game. I want to find out if I'm going to be correct. Let's see if the Suns get a stop, and they'll be the first team to score 120 points as both teams tied it up at 119.
That time, Jason Richardson, season high, pumping in another big shot. Reggie Williams taking over this game for Golden State. 27 in off the bench.
I never even dreamt my NBA games this good.
Ooh. And then heavy contact. Amar'e Stoudemire popped on the head. Anthony Morrow goes down, and the foul will be slapped on Morrow.
Did they get a head bump there, or was it Stoudemire's elbow as he swung through which cut Morrow? I think it's a head bump. So Amar'e Stoudemire lifted his goggles and started scratching his head. He comes through again. Let's see. They can seem like, yeah, head bump. Amar'e Stoudemire's right side of his head collides with Morrow's cheek or jaw area.
That's the 4th team foul committed by Golden State. The Suns with 3 team fouls. We'll go back again to Jason Richardson, equaling his season high with the 34 points. That's what he had against the Celtics in Boston earlier this season.
I'd love to see Nash get aggressive here down the stretch.
Stoudemire couldn't finish the play. Offensive rebound to a hustling Grant Hill. Into the corner, Dudley for 3, short. Trying to chase down his own miss, and now trying to chase down Stephen Curry. Stops, fires, can't hit. Monte Ellis trying to tip it over to Reggie Williams. Winds up in the lap of Richardson. Up ahead, look out. Hello! Amar'e Stoudemire elevates and detonates.
Are you kidding me?
Devastating dunk here in Oakland. Maybe the top dunk of his career. That was savage.
I know broadcasters aren't supposed to jump out of their seats like fans, but that was one of the nastiest dunks I've seen in my 20 years around the league.
He has had some masterpieces in his career. I have never, ever seen anything like this.
Oh, he just sized him up and said, "Come on, young man, let's rumble."
few years back, he did it on a Donald Foyle. An even more vicious jam from Amari Stoudemire. It's a one. They are still talking about the dunk from Amari Stoudemire moments ago. Gets a little fist pump from Scott Williams. Time for tonight's flyby of the game presented by Southwest Airlines. Book a business select fare at southwest.com and fly through airport lines with flyby priority lane access. Anthony Tolliver, you have just been YouTubed.
Yeah, Anthony Tolliver was having a night to remember on this particular play. He'd love to forget. Amari Stoudemire all up in his grill.
Again, a few years ago, Amari had a sensational dunk on Donald Foyle, who after the game said he gave up his body to science when Amari crushed it on top of him. Amari having a little fun with the crowd here in Oakland. So passionate, so loyal. Three-point play for Stat. Oh, just another one for the Facebook for Amari Stoudemire, and another 30-point game. That's 7 30-point games in his last 11 contests. But most importantly for Phoenix, tied up at 122. Reggie Williams shut down by Grant Hill. Help from Dudley. Morrow jacks it up. Too strong, and Amari Stoudemire with the rip.
8 boards for Stoudemire to go along with those 30 points. And I like the fact Grant Hill turned Williams away from that left hand, made him come back to the middle with the right dribble, had no shot, had to pass the ball off.
Reggie Williams, who has 16 points in the fourth quarter for Golden State. Amari Stoudemire, that is a manly move inside.
Lead change. Amari Stoudemire with last 5 points for the Suns gives them a 2-point advantage.
Amari has been a beast here in the fourth quarter. 32 for Stat. Stephen Curry, straight but strong. And Steve Nash hangs on to that rebound. Remember, Amari had only 3 points in the first quarter. All those points coming from the free throw line. He didn't have his first field goal until midway through the second quarter. And another hoop for Amari Stoudemire, putting his stamp on this game.
They're posting Amari Stoudemire in that left-hand block, which is his strongest block, and he's able to come hard with the right-hand dribble to the middle. And if they cut that off, he's silky smooth with that little baseline move to the glass.
Amari Stoudemire putting the Phoenix Suns on his broad shoulders here in the fourth. 34 for Stat. The savage dunk over Tolliver, and then coming out of the timeout, a couple more buckets for Amari.
Well, I love this right here, the strength and power of Amari Stoudemire. Getting it done here up in Oakland.
Quite a finish here in Oakland. Suns lead is 4. Amari Stoudemire has scored the last 7 points for the Suns and 9 of their last 11 for Super Stat here in the fourth quarter. We update the Western Conference standings. As we told you earlier, Utah won at home over Boston. Phoenix trying to remain 1 game behind the Utah Jazz. Oklahoma City another loss as they fell to San Antonio tonight. And Dallas has lost again. But all the talk here in Northern California is about number 1, Amari Stoudemire.
I don't know what to say. This kid just came out of that locker. You saw he had that look in his eye and that desire. And he's been playing with passion and energy. He's got 9 of the last 11 Suns points and 1 monster jam that my little Blackberry's blowing up over here. Dr. J. Schwartz, texted me from the golf course, our golf club. I'm watching this game going, what the heck was that?
Are they agreeing the best dunk ever from Stat? Down goes Jason Phillips, the referee by midcourt. The Suns and Warriors scrambling for that loose ball. Golden State, it appears, will have it with 16 seconds on the shot clock. Jason Phillips now goes over to talk to the other referee, Tom Washington, and there's the chase. Grant Hill.
Oh, Grant Hill just whiffed on him. I love you, Grant, but you just went over there with lobster claws and couldn't grab the basketball, threw it out of bounds.
C.J. Watson will trigger the inbound for the Warriors. Suffocated over there. The ambush by Dudley and Grant Hill, and Golden State turns it over.
Oh, 2 players that are playing so good, costly mistakes. First, Anthony Tolliver. Hey, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but what? Look at this time, Williams. He uses that steps over the out-of-bounds line and
steps on the half-court line. So they cough it up to the Suns. The 12th turnover committed by Golden State. Suns with 21 turnovers tonight, resulting in 27 points for Golden State. but clinging to a 4-point lead here in the fourth. A surge led by Amar'e Stoudemire sets the screen for Nash. He rolls, lob feed over the outstretched arms of Amar'e, and turnover number 22.
That's a risky pass. Nash has got a great screen. He's got to turn that corner and look at the basket. Knock the shot down.
Pressured in the backcourt was Stephen Curry by Jared Dudley. Curry driving to his left. Skip pass, and now Williams. In the corner, Curry pressured on the shot, misses everything. Jay Rich was there defensively for Phoenix. Nash trying to weave through defenders, and then fouled by C.J. Watson with 44 seconds to go. Suns leading by 4, and the NBA's best free throw shooter stepping to the line. A lot of credit going to Jason Richardson. Look at him contest the shot in the corner by Stephen Curry.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Rotate at those shooters, run them off their shots, make them either dribble or pass the basketball. It's a great stop defensively. And after you got the rebound, they got it right into the hands of their #1 free throw shooter in the NBA. Did I just do what I think I just did? Yikes. Thought that was going to be money from the line. Oops.
Stoudemire with 34.
Fi's looking down at me going, why did you do that?
Hey, Amar'e has 34. Jason Richardson with 34. Nash now has 11 points to go with his 12 assists. The lead is 5. Reggie Williams. An unbelievable fourth quarter. 2 more points for Reggie here in the final period, and Grant Hill will utilize a timeout. They wanted to try to inbound it to Nash. He was pressured fiercely in the backcourt. Suns lead is 3 with 37.7 seconds to go here in the fourth.
Great job by the Phoenix Suns. I wasn't sure if they'd have enough energy to finish this basketball game. They dug deep inside their souls and figured out a way to bring it to the park tonight. And they can just make their free throws now and not turn the ball over.
This 22nd timeout brought to you by Dial Complete. Defend yourself against germs this season. Suns still have a foul to give here in the latter stages of the fourth. Each team still with 2 timeouts remaining. Suns have a full and a 20 yet to go. The Suns shooting for their 45th win of the season. Right now, a season high 18 games over 500. That would make it 19 games over 500, and again would make the Suns' magic number for making the playoffs 4, in combination with the Houston Rockets loss earlier tonight. And the Suns still hoping to catch Utah for the 4th spot in the West, and home court advantage in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. Yeah, Scott, I go back to Amar'e Stoudemire when he came out of that timeout. Boy, just a ferocious look on his face, and he has taken over this game. Grant Hill is fouled by C.J. Watson. A little over 33 seconds to go. Grant missed a free throw earlier tonight. He's 5 of 6 from the line. The Suns as a team, 24 of 27 free throw shooting.
Well, Tom, you picked up on it. When you saw him coming in this game, he had a little look in his eye. You picked up on that. And you saw that first bucket. He went in there, like we talked about, that hard hat, lunch pail mentality, and firmness. And he just came out here as a man possessed here in this fourth period. Right now, we talked about the ability to be able to make shots. 13 and 33 have gone the line and both missed one. Let's hopefully that Grant can make this one and make it a 4-point game.
Misses them both. Amar'e Stoudemire grabs the offensive rebound, draws the foul on Tolliver. Hello, Amar'e Stoudemire, doing everything for Phoenix here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it was Jay Rich early with 34 points, but it's been Stat TV down the stretch. No bigger ward in this basketball game than this one right here. Gets up over the smaller Tolliver and just grabs that ball, and he's having some fun with the people here in Oakland.
Inciting the crowd here at Oracle Arena, and then calmly sinks the first free throw.
31 seconds. There's still a lot of time. This is an important free throw here. Pushing back up to 5.
Just another incredible performance registered by Amar'e Stoudemire. Knocks down both free throws, 36 for Stat. He is 12 of 13 free throw shooting. The Suns lead extended to 5. Timeout called by Golden State. Amar'e Stoudemire has also snatched 9 rebounds, none bigger than that last offensive rip off the second missed free throw by Grant Hill.
I love when big guys get inside and start getting gritty and gutty and dirty and nasty, and Amar'e Stoudemire is doing all 4 of those things here tonight. big board off the offensive glass.
Boy, the conditioning and the stamina for Amari Stoudemire has spiked over the last month and a half, dropping some of that weight, saying he's in the best shape of the season. You know, what's interesting, too, coming in against Golden State, he had averaged only 12 points in the last 2 meetings against the Warriors, but he has torched them for 36 tonight. But you can't rest easy with this Golden State team. They have some very accurate three-point shooters, including Monte Ellis out there along with Stephen Curry. Monte for 3, and 3 foul shots coming for Ellis, who was fouled in the act by Jason Richardson.
I got to see that one again. I wasn't expecting anybody to foul a three-point shooter. I was kind of watching some of the underneath action. Here it is, one for you one more time at home. Go out and try to challenge the shot. You know, maybe say Jason Richardson clipped him a little bit, but certainly not enough to warrant the guy get a three-point shot in this particular time in the game. That's kind of shocking. And talked a little bit about Benny Adams earlier, so I'm not going to say anything more about it, but sometimes the ball don't lie, as Ellis went to the line and clanked the first one.
Monte was averaging 26 points a game this season. 23 so far. Misfires on the first, and good to go on the second. One more coming for Monte Ellis, 24-year-old, 5th year coming straight out of high school in Mississippi. Part of the fabric of this Warriors team, mixing into the backcourt this year with the rookie Stephen Curry, trying to make it a 3-point ball game, and does. 129-126. They get it into Jared Dudley, back over to Grant Hill, and he's fouled by Reggie Williams. Okay. Jared Dudley, a little hot potato. Yeah. And back over to Grant, who just missed 2 free throws.
Yeah, I don't think Jared Dudley was afraid to go line and shoot the ball. I think he just saw an opportunity to take a couple more precious ticks off of that game clock, so he decided to get it back to Grant Hill. And good thing is, though, Grant Hill just went to the line, just missed his last 2 free throws, so you worry about that a little bit. Well, maybe he's due, or maybe he's going to pull a hat trick here. I'm not quite sure which, but you got to like the gritty performance of the Suns team. Reminds me of my golf match. You just sometimes things don't go right, go well for you the entire time. You know, I get those matches up at Wisquock. I tell you about my golf club up there, Tom. Play up there with Taylor Jennings as my caddy, and sometimes you just hear you keep talking to yourself when you go along. You got to figure out a way now to make this one.
Always so confident in his abilities. Grant Hill misses them both again. 4 straight misses at the line from Grant Hill.
Just can't give up a 3-point shot here and cannot be sucked down underneath. Got to get out on those shooters.
3 to tie. Back iron, rebounded by Dudley. Hands it off to Nash, but Dudley is fouled by Anthony Moore with 11 seconds to go. Monte Ellis had a great look at tying this game.
Yeah, look at Steve Nash, gives Grant a big pat on the butt, says, don't worry about it. We survived the 4 misses. But I tell you, you got to get out to those shooters, and they got Monte Ellis with a good look. It just goes a little bit too far off that back iron, pops right back, and JYD, Johnny on the spot, grabs that ball and tries to get it to Nash as quickly as he can, but couldn't quite get it over there in time.
Dudley sinks the first free throw. Big foul shot by Jared, making it a 2-possession game. We'll never see Grant Hill miss 4 consecutive free throws in our lifetime. Just so rare for Grant, especially in the 4th quarter. And he is so good, so focused. And Dudley steps up, nailing 2 vital free throws. Timeout called by Don Nelson with 11.3 to go, and the Suns lead is 5.
Yeah, heroes galore all over this game, though. Credit Fry and Dudley off the bench along Goran Dragic. Steve Nash almost with a triple-double. He's got 11 points, 12 assists, 7 boards. Of course, saw Jason Richardson early. He had 34 points. And Amari Stoudemire, all Stat TV late, 36 points. So what is that, 70 points between those 2 guys in your starting lineup?
Wow. And Scott, we really haven't talked about how good Alvin Gentry's team has been on the road of late. They came into this contest here in Oakland, winning 7 of their last 9 on the road. If they can hang on to win 8 of 10 away from home. We're heading back to Phoenix to meet up with the Knicks on Friday night, and then a 5-game road trip as they set out to take on Minnesota, Chicago, New Jersey, Detroit, and then Milwaukee. The first 4 games of that 5-game road trip, those 4 teams a combined 116 games under 500.
Oh.
The Wolves, the Bulls, the Nets, and the Pistons.
I got a chance to get something done, but those Bulls, they've been playing basketball. Didn't they beat the Rockets tonight?
They sure did.
You can't take any team lightly, just as you can see tonight. I mean, they were in a dogfight all night long against this Warriors team.
Monte Ellis pressured by Duggan, still sticks the 3. Monte Ellis from the corner, making it a 2-point game. Grant Hill trying to inbound it to Nash, who was being fouled from behind.
Yeah, he was being fouled before that ball was inbounded, too. So the Suns make it 2 free throws and get the ball back.
So you're right, if they do not release that pass, it's an away from the play foul. It would be a free throw for Nash, and the Suns would get it back. And there you can see it, the arm wrapped around the waist of Nash from Stephen Curry. 8.8 to go. So Nash will step to the line. He'll have the free throw, and then the Suns will have it on the side.
No, they won't. I don't think they're going to give it to him on the side. I think Alvin Gentry tried to go over to Jason Phillips and talk to him just about that point, but Jason Phillips didn't want to hear it. He's going to give
that's
him
why.
free. Oh, wait. Now there's a conference to figure out where that basketball was when that foul was committed on Nash. Wait, they may change this.
So Phillips will come over here to the scorer's table, but you're right, the Suns were taking their time heading back the other way. It looked like it was one of those technical free throw situations, and Nash would shoot it by himself. Instead, he has company and knocks down the first. Go back to the three-pointer for Monte Ellis. Dudley was right there in his face.
Yeah, Ellis is one of these guys. He makes big shots, too. He saw, Brandon Roy, I think, and Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and, of course, the master of making big shots, Kobe Bryant, down the stretch. But I think Ellis is one of these guys, too, even though he's on a team that doesn't win a lot, has that big shot ability.
Stoudemire will come out, replaced by Goran Dragic with 8.8 to go. Strategical move made by Alvin Gentry. Stoudemire has the 36 points. Nash back to the line and misses. Couple of misses for Nash. 4 misfires by Grant Hill, and that has kept Golden State alive.
They have a chance to tie this with a 3-point shot. Holy cannoli. Hang on, Suns fans, and buckle those belts.
Golden State is out of timeouts. Dudley can commit the foul and does with 4.3 to go, and it was before the shot attempt. Before the shot attempt, and that will result in 2 free throws for the Warriors. Again, they are out of timeouts. Whew, I'll tell you what, the tension is very thick here near the Suns bench.
Yeah, it's funny because some of these Warriors fans were leaving the arena, and now they're working their way back towards empty seats and standing out in the concourse watching this action.
Now be careful too, Monte Ellis, after this first free throw, could intentionally miss the next.
Yeah, and Alvin Gentry knows that. He gets his trees back in the game, Robin Lopez and Amari Stoudemire, to be able to try to get this rebound, but you got to worry because this rebound will come long.
Don Nelson just told that to Monte Ellis. I want you to miss this free throw. I want you to try to clang it off the rim and give Golden State a chance to get the offensive rebound.
Yeah, you have to defend both the 2 and the 3-point shot, especially the 3-point shot.
High arching free throw. He banks it in. To the dismay of his coach, his Suns still have the 2 timeouts left, now down to 1. So Monte Ellis attempting to miss the free throw, banked it in, and it's a 1-point game with 4.3 left.
He's not fooling me. He was just padding his stats. He just wanted the extra free throw to allow for his stat line so he could get the 30 points.
He went for the arch deluxe and banked it home. 1-32, 1-31, and we still have 4 seconds left to go in regulation. What a wild and bizarre finish here in Oakland. Steve Nash and Grant Hill have missed 6 free throws down the stretch late in the 4th quarter. Amari Stoudemire has dominated for the Suns. Dudley has been clutch in the 4th. And then you have Monte Ellis, who tried to missed this free throw and instead banked it in.
Okay, our guys can't make free throws, and this guy's trying to miss one, and he makes it. Explain that to me. If you're Monte Ellis in this situation, you got to give your team every opportunity to win down the stretch. You have to make sure that ball is so wildly offline that all it does is come off the front of the rim, the back of the rim, the side of the rim, something. But you can't get cute like that.
Kind of like the place kicker on a squib kick. Trying to get that big bounce. Grant Hill, nowhere to go. Finally finds Amari Stoudemire, wrapped up by C.J. Watson. 3.5 on the clock. Amari, 12 of 13 free throw shooting. So if you had to choose one Suns player to step to the line right now, Amari, the way he's played here in the fourth quarter with the confidence and the fury, that'd be my choice.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. But it still doesn't matter. Even if Amari Stoudemire makes both of these free throws, they still got the same scenario. Once the Warriors get the basketball over, they're going to have to foul again. The only good news this time is they are out of timeouts. They'll have to go the length of the floor, and so that'll eat up some clock.
And Gentry is telling his troops to foul as the Suns miss another one at the line.
They can't foul now. They cannot foul now.
Now Alvin Gentry waves it off. He smiles going back to the bench. He cannot believe this finish either. I mean, this has just been head-scratching.
263 points, and this may not be enough.
2-point lead. Here comes Monte Ellis, spinning, firing for the win, and the Suns hang on. Down go the Golden State Warriors. Phoenix Suns now have won 5 in a row. 37 from Amari Stoudemire, 34 for Jason Richardson. What a game we have seen here in Oakland.
Yeah, that was a great tale of two halves of basketball. Amari Stoudemire with 3 points after the first quarter goes on to score 34 points in the final 3 periods.
Amari Stoudemire with the vicious dunk in the fourth quarter, helping to spur the Suns to the victory. They win it 133 to 131. Final seconds. The prayer hoisted up by Monte Ellis, and the Suns hang on to win by 2. Our player of the game, right